Allison. I am not Carmen. I have dark hair, but I am not Carmen. So you are on the call that is exciting every season. This is the All-Stars Takeover call. And so you get to hear from some experience of All-Stars that have gone before you and have kind of been where you are and can give you some just great advice, tips going forward, and can also serve in the future as, people you can lean on for more support and things like that. So we are so excited to be on here with you guys. And so I'm going to introduce briefly the other All-Stars. We have Jennifer, or Jen. I think she goes by Jen. And we have Brett. He's handling the Zoom for us. Thank you, Brett. And then we have Nisha. And so we're all from different seasons. I think Brett, Nisha, you guys might have been on the same season. But we're super excited to be doing this with you guys. Before we jump into our call and all the great words of wisdom from our All-Stars, let's hop on the scales.
Beth? 1640.
Good morning. 189.8, Stephanie.
Sixth place. Yeah, we need a drum roll. Sixth place, losing after 10 full weeks, losing 5 pounds and down 2.44%. We have Sam. Good job, Sam. Woo! In fifth place, down 9 pounds and 4.52% is Stephanie. Go, Stephanie. In fourth place, down 12.6 pounds, 6.52%, Christina. I'm trying to look for everybody's faces as I'm looking at the video. I'm trying to get everybody on here at the same time. Great job, Christina. In third place, down 12.8 pounds and 7.23%, Beth. Good job, Beth. In second place, down 26.4 pounds, 8.9%, Karen. Woohoo! That is awesome. So I guess I have to make this pun to leave you with a cliffhanger, down 28.2 pounds and 13.14%. Cliff, that is amazing. Great, great job. Sorry, I am a sucker for puns. So that's fantastic, guys. Y'all done a great job, and you should be so proud of yourself. I know we've got some All-Stars that are going to speak on some different topics tonight. But this is I just want to say real quick, this is such an amazing program. And if you haven't noticed already, it affects more than just your weight loss. It affects everything about your total being, mind, body, and soul. For me, it led to many other decisions in my life that changed for the better. And I'm just so thankful to have been a part of this program. And I know that you guys are going to continue to see that. Carmen is truly an inspirational leader, and she has developed quite a program with lots of tools for success. So very, very excited for you guys. So tonight we are going to talk about a host of topics, but first I want to introduce to you, we're going to talk about what it means to finish strong as you're wrapping up your first 12 weeks. What does it mean to get to that finish line, but not quite the finish line, and keep that mindset, keep going towards your goals. And so the first person that's going to talk to you tonight about finishing strong is Nisha. So Nisha, you're up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nisha. Hey. So we're going to talk about finishing strong. I know you all just finished your first 12 weeks, and there's probably some things you learned, some hiccups that fell in the road, and you're trying to get back on track and stay committed. So you have another 12 weeks to fix any challenges that, arose during the first 12 weeks. So first, we're going to talk about consistency. What's important is remaining consistent. Remain consistent, dedication, and focus on both your diet and exercise. What that looks like is sticking to your meal plan. So if you're the type of person that has to create your meal plan on Sunday just to know what you're gonna eat throughout the week, then do that. If you're someone who really doesn't like to meal prep, but you have time in the morning to get up and figure out what you're gonna eat for that entire day, know ahead of time, plan ahead. Know what you're gonna eat before it's time for dinner. Know what you're gonna eat before it's time for breakfast. Because if you don't, what happens is you get hungry and you're just gonna grab anything that's in the way. You're just gonna go in the fridge and grab anything to fill your stomach. Another thing is hydrating, because if you don't hydrate, you are not flushing out those bad toxins and things of that nature. So you must make sure you stay hydrated. What that looks like is drink your gallon of water. I don't know if you all found that to be challenging, but I know a lot of people do. They find it a challenge to drink your water. That is important. Um, one of the things I found to be the easiest is drink your water before you drink any other beverage. And then one of the things a lot of people lack the most is sleep. Your sleep is just as important as your meal plans, your workouts, and remaining hydrated, because this is when your body is going to repair itself. So make sure you get a good night's sleep. If you have to lay down 30 minutes before it's time for you to go to bed to get those good 7 to 8 hours in, that is extremely important. What else? And the exercise, of course. Make sure you're getting your exercises in. This was the hardest for me, the exercises, but make it fun, make it enjoyable. If you have to bring the kids in with you, if you have to bring a family member in with you, make the exercises fun and push through. I know in the beginning it's a challenge. And then just stay committed to all of this. And also, don't forget your support system. We all need a support system. So right now, what that looks like is you are here to carry each other through the program. So for these next 12 weeks, these are your friends. And this is that family that we all need to cheer us on. This is your family. The next 12 weeks, make use of it. Come in a group, speak to them. Anytime a challenge arises, this is your support system, and this is literally your family. Embrace it. And you're going to face obstacles, temptations, doubts, and moments of weakness. However, you become successful when you're able to push through these moments. The pain, I'm sorry, when you're able to push through the pain and stay true to your commitment. And what is your commitment? Your commitment is your why. So in the beginning of this program, I know you all wrote out your whys. Go back to that, go revisit it. That is the number one thing that helped me, keeping that why in front of my face. And if you have to print it out and put it on the wall, stick it on the wall so you can look at it every day, because that is the number one reason that made you sign up for this program. Whether that's because I don't know what you're dealing with. If you just want to lose weight, you want to drop 50 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever that looks like for you, maybe come off, mine was high blood pressure medication. That was one of my reasons. So find out your why and stay true to it. Always look at that and revisit it. And another thing I'm going to leave you all with is just remember, nothing grows in a comfort zone. So it has to hurt. It has to be painful. You have to miss the birthday parties and the cakes. I love the cakes, the holidays. But if you can make it through, this holiday, then the next one, you're going to be right where you need to be, and you get to enjoy those festivities. The restaurants, the fast food restaurants, they're always going to be there. That was another challenge of mine. Just know that they're going to be around forever. And as long as we correct our health, we can live longer as well. So just make sure that's important.
Thank you, Nisha. That was fantastic. And Nisha brought up a good point that I was thinking about, and then she started talking about it. Your group is just such a support system for you. And if Carmen hasn't already talked about it, you will hear her talk about, flocking together And I can't stress enough the importance of maintaining those connections and being there as a support for each other. I think in each of our groups, we all became like family, and we were just really able to encourage each other, lift one another up when one was down. And to me, I think accountability is one of the biggest keys to success in this program. And so I would just urge you to lean into that, like Nisha talked about, and lean into who your accountability partners are and your group, and stay committed. So the next topic we're going to talk about is you were made to do hard things. And Jen is going to give us all of her words of wisdom on that.
Well, hello, everybody. I am Jen Rashford. If I haven't had the pleasure to meet you in person, I had lost 50 pounds in my biggest transformation journey, and I was in season 4. So I just want to say congratulations. It's been phenomenal to watch your journeys along the way, and I'm enjoying. I know we're a few weeks behind as far as the live side of it goes. So I can't wait to see where everything goes along this journey for each and every one of you. And I had the honor and privilege of being on the group workout with each one of you this last Monday. And, that's how I want to segue into this. There's 3 types of people in there, and that show up in that group workout. And I'm happy to say, there's the one that lack the belief, right, that they can even do that workout. Then there's those that get in there and they're like, okay, I'm just going to show up. But in that, there's those ones which I saw each and every one of you show up and give everything you possibly could to that. And the truth is only you are the one that can say whether you gave everything you can or not. And each individual on this call right now, you have a different ability, right? Some of you can give it your all. You can keep up with the trainers. Some of you, you're stomping in place, you're moving. Other of you can't jump up and down. And that's okay. When I first started in my journey, I was not able to lift weights. I was not able to jump. I was not able to do anything. And so the best part of the biggest transformation is it can be for any person involved. And that's what I love about this program. The third person got on there and was like, oh my gosh, this was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. How many of you thought that? Did any of you guys think that? Yeah. It is crazy because you're like, I can keep up. I can do this. I'm actually going to jump. Oh, I can lift my legs higher. I can squat and jump. Like, it's all the amazing things that you can do. And what I want to say is you all step up. You stepped in, you stepped up, and you rose to the challenge of that group workout, no matter what fear, no matter what limitation you had. So congratulations. And it's just one more step of proving that you can do hard things. The mind is an amazing organ in my personal opinion, and mind over matter. Mindset is really everything. Once you get your mind into it and behind it, like some of you, when you first started on this journey, you're like, how am I going to drink a gallon of water a day? How am I going to eat out of these tiny little containers a day? How am I only going to eat 1,200 calories a day? Right? Like, you looked at what you did, but once you made the commitment, once you made that decision, you were all in, right? Every single one of you, you've made that decision, and you've seen in week to week, in challenge after challenge, that once you make the decision, you have what it takes to get through it and to overcome it. So I just want to talk to you on a couple of things for, overcoming those limits, overcoming those limitations in your own mind. As you journey on in this and you get to the end of season or phase 1 and get ready to go into phase 2, you guys are almost through the beginning of phase 1, right? And how fast did that go? Do you remember when you thought from the very beginning, 12 weeks, that's going to be forever? And look at the journey and where you've come from. So I just want to encourage you, as you finish these last few weeks and head into phase 2, keep that mindset. Keep that I can do hard things. Look at what you've already overcome and what you've come through. So focus on the things that you have done. For some of you, you've become more flexible. You've been able to actually complete a workout. Some of you started in a workout thinking, okay, I can't even touch my toes. Many of you are now touching your toes. There are so many things to focus on. So it's remembering to go back to the beginning of where you came from and never forgetting that spot. And even when you veer off track, it's the ability to get back on track, because what were we created to do? We were created to do hard things. And so continue to celebrate the journey along the way, making sure you look at what day 1 was to what day 2 is, reflecting back on the beginning. Remember the thoughts you had in the very beginning to the actions you do take today. And I think that's the most important thing. And then just most of all, rising to that challenge. You have what it takes. There's a few essences to transformation, and one is self-empowerment, and that is the belief in tackling challenges. And Carmen O'Quinn is probably by far the person who believes in you the most. There's no one that I know that has more belief in individuals and can pull out the best in what you have. So I know there are those times where she's like, oh, you didn't track your day today. You forgot to check in today. You forgot to do this, but that's what that accountability is for. And it's for your best effort. So just remember tackling the challenges and believing in yourself. And then going through and confronting the difficulties, right? That is full on self-empowerment. And then personal growth. Nisa, you said it the best, again, with stepping out of your comfort zone. Nothing can grow in a comfort zone. You've heard Carmen say that multiple times as well. So personal growth, that recognition of where you've come from and where you're heading, and the reflection on what you've done. Never lose sight of the milestones that you've been through. And the truth is, each and every one of you there have the ability in you to do hard things. And I hope through this transformation, you believe in that statement. You can do hard things. Your next step is to continue to gain the skills to transform. So Allison, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Congratulations again on everything you guys have accomplished. I can't wait to see you at the finish line and continuing to grow.
Thank you, Jen. That was awesome. Jen, I have listened to you do many talks, and you are always so motivational. And I always think you have so many words of wisdom to share. And, it's important, like Jen was talking about, it's important to remember too, like when you're in the hard, think about all the hard you've overcome, and I can remember when I first started out with my workouts, it was like, all I could think about was, how am I going to ever do these moves? Because I can just barely get off the floor after they've made me get down on the floor. I just spent so much time getting up and down and using the furniture to get back up. And so, but now when I do my workouts, not only am I not getting up off the floor, but I'm not having to use furniture, and I'm using weights. And, there's just, those are the things when you're pushing yourself to the next level and getting to the next hard thing that you have to remind yourself. And like Jen was talking about, like how far you've come and the things that you've achieved, more flexibility, feeling better, things like that. And those things will keep you motivated. And so our next speaker, Brett, who has been our Zoom master behind the scenes here, he is going to talk about potential traps and what can happen with some success. So Brett, it's all you.
Well, again, congratulations everybody for how well you've done. We'll start off with the positive, because I'm going to talk to you about the traps that can throw you off track. My name is Brett. I'm from season 8. Nisha was in the season with me. And if you follow her example, you will excel, because she pushed through all this while pregnant and almost won both phases. But yeah, there's a lot to this. So the traps, Carmen will tell you, and she's probably said it several times already, if I know how Carmen talks, that nothing can affect your success like a little bit of success. So I want to break that down now into the way I took it, and the things. There are 3 big things that I learned from it during our season. The first trap, I call it the "I got this" trap. And that's where you start getting so comfortable with what you're doing that you don't have to follow the guidelines anymore, because you've got it all figured out up here. And now you know as much as these people that spent years and years and years developing this system. And after a few weeks, you've got this down. So you start estimating your containers rather than actually measuring them out. You start winging the food planning instead of actually planning for the week and figuring out what you're gonna have. So watch out for that one, because once you start getting some success, it gets really easy to go, you know what? A little bit of cheating today is not gonna be a big deal. It will be a big deal because every time you do something off track, it's easier to do it again the next time. The hard part is to develop that good habit and make the new habit the process you're going to follow all the time. And then the little treat becomes the exception at the moment when it's the right thing to do and it doesn't throw you off into that spiral. And my spiral was always Mountain Dews and Snickers. I haven't touched a Mountain Dew since then. And I used my 5-pound treat once in a while to have a Snickers, and I've even tapered away from those. Because I found that eating healthy, there's just a lot of other stuff I prefer to have now. And it's just as good and it's healthier. So that was my big one, was the I got this trap. The second trap, and this is the one I think that hits you especially later on and as you get closer to the freedom phase, is life got in the way trap. I have kids and grandkids. I have work. I have a lot of things that I can always put ahead of myself. I can come up with 1,000 reasons every day why something is more important than maintaining the plan, or I won't make the workout today, or I can't get all my water in because I have this. The truth is, you can't help anybody else, and you can't make anything else better for anyone, for your kids, your life, your work, unless you can take care of yourself first. And the way you take care of yourself first is by following that plan and committing to being as healthy as you can be, and following getting the water in, like Nisha said, staying on the plan. I always get up every morning just to show you how my plan every morning is exactly the same, and it has been since we started the season back in May of last year. Get up, feed the dogs, read the Bible, work out. By the time I finish my workout, I've got my first 32 ounces of water in before I'm heading off to work every day. That has helped me. I've had days where like, oh, I don't feel like it's going to be tight on the workout. No, I do the workout, and I just make sure I get up earlier. So if you develop the consistency, that will help you. And you will find that once you take care of yourself for a little bit every day, you can do a lot more to help everyone else. So watch out for that one. And the third one that I found, and I think everybody falls into this one. The first two are kind of personality related, I think. Some people can be very consistent all the time. They just have that natural to them. I got this figured out, that's kind of personalities. Some people fall into, some don't. I think the one that really hits almost everyone that I've ever worked around or been with is setting unrealistic goals. And by setting unrealistic goals, that means either picking a long-term goal that is so daunting that as you feel yourself not making the progress, you start doubting yourself. Your goals should be broken down into a short-term goal, a mid-range goal, and a long-term goal. I have a goal for every week of what I want to accomplish with my workouts, whether it be just completing this phase of a workout, or I want to complete this course in order, and I want to do everything exactly the way the plan says. And then I have I'm going to complete this program by this day goal. And then long-term goal is I'm going to get down to that body fat percentage that I want. That way I'm not freaked out about not reaching the body fat percentage, because I'm getting the successes along the way. There's a really good Navy Admiral online that talks about achieving your goals. You can look it up. It's basically, you can look up Navy Admiral Make Your Bed. And it says every day you get up and you make your bed, because no matter what else happens that day, you've accomplished something and you've achieved your first goal of the day right when you got up. And if you can do that, you can go on. So that's the kind of attitude. That's how I look at trying to, set realistic goals. Along with setting realistic goals is don't compare yourself to others. You probably noticed some people during your season will have like massive losses and then they stall and then they drop again. If Carmen hasn't told you, like men, for some reason, we can lose weight really fast in the beginning and then it slows down. My wife was in the season with me. I lost a lot of weight early on and then mine tapered off and she was always like right behind me. Nisha was always right behind. And then in the second half of the season, she took over. And this is while growing another person. So don't compare yourself to anybody but your goals and what you need to achieve. Let that guide you and let your team help you along the way to do that. So that's the three things that I've learned about traps. So be careful for those.
Brett, that was awesome. You stepped on my toes, I know, especially with some of those. Those were really good. And you know, I always love to hear from everybody and their take on pieces of advice because you know, we all have different stages of life, and sometimes something may apply to me, but then 6 months, a year down the road, it may not apply to me, but it applies to somebody else. And so like it's so key to stay tuned into this community and all the tools that Carmen's given you, because you will just continue to be encouraged by all this motivation from the prior seasons and seasons to come. So now it is time for you guys to talk. So we're going to move into your question for this week. It's kind of two questions. Stephanie, I'm giving you a heads up. You're first, but here are the two questions. What are you most proud of that you have done in the past 10 weeks? And how do you plan to finish? So Stephanie's up, Karen's next.
That I'm most proud of is in my Y video, I weighed, you know, like 192 or so. And then I had bumped up because usually when I'm pregnant, I gain like 80 to 90 pounds. This is baby number 5. And so I gained and I gained and I gained. And then we started the program. And I am under that right now. I keep bumping between like 190 and 189 right now. It's very frustrating, but my belly is humongous and the sky is just growing. And I'm trying to tell myself it's fine, it's okay, because I haven't actually like gained any weight technically since that point, since I was 15 weeks. And I'm like, I think 29 or 30. I keep losing track. But yeah, that's really cool for me. That's never happened. And the way I'd like to end is I'd like to get a lot stronger and do more in my workouts. So I've moved to doing the third trimester prenatal bar workouts that are on there. And they're good. Like I can do them and I can feel a burn with them and I don't hurt myself. I'd like to like, you know, add more weight or, you know, do everything more mindfully and just get stronger and ready for labor. And so, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's where I'm at right now.
Most proud of as of right now is usually when I start working out because of past injuries, I would stop working out because I would let those injuries stop me. And I've pushed through where I can do planks for a minute now. I can actually do burpees. I can do squats without my knees hurting. And usually I would have let that stop me, but I've not let that stop me this time. Like I've continued to push through and I've been able to up my weights. And so for me to finish is like just to continue to build on that momentum and finish strong and continue to push my body because I know that I can, because I've done that up to now. So I know that I can. So that's how I want to finish this, is pushing my body to be able to, you know, do all of the exercises without having to modify. Like there's still a couple of them, you know, where I have to use some furniture or the floor to get up and down on. I want to make so that I don't have to do that anymore. And I am enjoying the healthy eating, where usually I was like, I don't like the healthy eating. I don't want that food. Now my body is craving that food instead of the other food, and the other food doesn't look good anymore.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I would say I am most proud of just losing any weight, losing 1 pound, 2 pounds, and now up to 12.6. I had been on the struggle bus for so long, just starting, stopping, just not being able to keep any weight off. And I mean, this is just so proud, like super proud of the fact that I have been able to stay consistent and that I'm checking the boxes off and doing it for more than a month and staying on a program. And so just losing the weight. And I know that this is just the beginning, but I haven't been this, I told this to the group, but I haven't been this weight or around this weight since 2019. Like I've been struggling for a really, really long time. And it's not for lack of efforts, but man, like we found the secret sauce. And this is just a truly an amazing program. And I'm so thankful for it. So in terms of like how I plan to finish is just the momentum that I have right now, just continuing it and getting stronger day in and day out, staying consistent. Like I know I love what Keisha said about consistency is going to be the thing for me, and staying disciplined and also staying connected, like making sure that even after the 24 weeks, just staying connected to my Marco Polo family. When I start to kind of like veer off or things are hard, I tend to get closed off and keep all my problems to myself. And so it has been such great therapy having this group, days that I'm like crying, I'm happy, I'm all over with the place with them. So that's how I plan to finish, just, stay in community and stay consistent.
So for me, what I'm most proud of is just staying true to the system. I haven't missed a workout. I don't think I've not fully cheated. I took a bite of something. And so for me, just that consistency has been huge. And the more I lose, the more determined I am to lose. So my goal was 50 pounds, and I was like, 50 pounds, really? Now I'm down almost 30 pounds, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can easily lose 20 more. Because, I mean, in all honesty, I didn't think I knew I was overweight, but by golly, until I took my pictures, I didn't think it was that bad. And so now I see how bad it was. And I'm 48 years old, and my body doesn't look the same as I did at 30. And so there's a lot less muscle mass. And so something Brett said was I don't have a goal of like where I want my body fat, and I want to try to figure that out in the next 12 weeks. And that's kind of how I want to finish and see where I get that, and just keep being true to myself, because God gave me this body. What do I think I'm doing by being overweight? That's just, I'm not treating myself good. And in that, to be honest, I didn't love myself like I should have.
So what I'm most proud about is that I have stuck with this, because that has not been my pattern in the past at all. And whenever it's difficult, I remind myself that I need to lean into the program. The program works. I need to work the program. And I've done that. I've been committed. I've been dedicated. And I think I'm alone in our cast. When we started this journey, I was a couch potato and had been for decades. So it wasn't that I used to work out and then stopped. I never worked out. I have worked out every day for 10 weeks. On our rest days, I go for a walk. I keep my body moving, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. And this week I started actually it was last week, I started adding things that I listen to on my commute. I have a commute that can be an hour to an hour and a half each way to go to work. I started listening to things that align with exactly what we're doing right now, whether it's a podcast from a motivational speaker, or it's my life map, or it is an audio book. That is what I listen to on my drive, and it has helped my mindset tremendously. And how do I plan to finish? I plan to keep doing what I'm doing. I plan to continue to learn new skills and apply the skills while continuing the skills that I've already learned and have incorporated.
I'm most proud of is I'm a lot stronger now than I was at the beginning. I'm lifting a lot more weights. And from the very beginning, I incorporated running because I used to be a runner. And so every month since the challenge started, I've done a 5K. And my goal with all the Beachbody workouts and continuing to run is to run a 10K by the end of this challenge. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to push myself, stay consistent and disciplined. And yeah, so with the support of all my friends.
That's awesome. I love your goal. That is fantastic. And it sounds like you've already made so much progress. Well, that wraps up our question session and pretty much wraps up our call. But I just want to remind you all, as you're going into week 11 and getting ready to end your first phase and move into your next phase, that you're not done. Phase 1 is not the end of this. It's the beginning of learning more and gaining more and working more towards your goals. And if you hit your goal, learning how to maintain it and staying focused and staying motivated. And also encouraging each other. You know, if one of you has hit a goal and you've got others who are still working towards that, just keep that momentum going so that you're doing it as a team and really leaning on each other. Because like I said earlier, this program changes so many things about your life that you probably don't even realize it's changing, because right now you're focused on the water and the eating and the working out, but it's changing, like some others said, your mindset. And you know, Carmen has probably said this to you all because I've heard her say it so many times, but your brain does not know the difference between a truth and a lie. And I had never heard anybody say that. And it took me a while to really, you know, grasp what she was saying, but it's the truth. We speak what into our brains, like what we can and can't do. And so our words, our thoughts can be so powerful.